Avatar: The Way of Water is directed by James Cameron. It is 13 years after the first one came out, and we finally got it. I never would have thought this was going to come out. It's been pushed back. It's been delayed. It's been, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it production hell for 13 years. It's just been, it was one of those things where you just never knew if you were ever going to get it. So yeah, the fact that it's here, it's kind of a pretty cool thing in itself to see, for it to finally be out. So yeah, Avatar: The Way of Water is, we're back with Jake Sully as, you know, as the Na'vi. He is living with his family now. He has, like I said, he has a family, he has kids. When a familiar threat comes back to pretty much finish the job that the first one that they started in the first one. And so now he is on the run in a sense with his family, pretty much to avoid anything else from happening from the humans, from the sky people, they call them. And so he finds this village that's pretty much next to the water. It's all water, and now they have to learn the way of water, and that's essentially the plot of Avatar: The Way of Water. I like the first one. I liked it a lot. It's visually, it's one of the most amazing films to see. I remember just liking it though. I remember never loving the movie, and I feel like I have to watch it again. It's been a while that I've seen it, and I remember just, it never captivated me in a sense as far as the story, because the story itself, it's a very basic story. Nothing too new, nothing too crazy or deep. You take away the visual effects, you take away what that is, the movie is somewhat a basic story. The second one here though, I would say it's very much similar to that, but I do find myself enjoying this one much more, at least now. I really like this. I really, to the point of almost loving this. I think I do love this, actually, probably. Yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of this movie. It is a 3 hour and 15 minute long, I believe. I believe it's 30 minutes longer than the first one. And I didn't feel the length. I did not feel the 3 hours. Very much similar to whether it was the Batman or Justice League from last year. You don't feel the runtime too much. Or even any of the Avengers movie, especially, particularly Endgame and Infinity War. How long, they weren't necessarily 3 hours, but they were long films. And I think it's good when a movie can just do that, when it can just entertain you and it can just be a movie experience. This is the second movie experience feeling that I've gotten this year. As far as just a movie, just I felt, you felt like you needed to watch this movie in theaters for you to fully experience it. And obviously the other one was Top Gun Maverick, and I feel like this is very similar to that, where you have to watch this in theaters. It's visually incredible to see what's on screen. There isn't a moment wasted. There isn't a moment that you just can't, you don't really get bored from what you're seeing, from everything that you're seeing on screen. And I think that in itself is really incredible. You see kind of why it took so long for them to make this. And from what I'm hearing now, James Cameron has other scenes already filmed for the sequels, and so it seems like he's really invested in this, and that's really cool. I think that's really cool to see that he's really going all in with these films. James Cameron is known to be a perfectionist, and so his movies might take some time. There was Titanic. You have the Terminators, the first two Terminators. You have Titanic, and then you got I believe in between there you don't really have anything. You have Avatar. It is cool to see a guy who wants to tell a story, whether it's a basic story, but he wants to tell it in such a unique way. And to that, I think you have to really appreciate and respect James Cameron for wanting to do that. And yeah, again, this movie is really visually beautiful to watch. But again, the story is somewhat basic, and it took me a minute, I think, for me to get emotionally invested in this. For a better part of the first, I don't want to say the first half, but the beginning of it, I felt like I just wasn't emotionally invested. They do a good job of catching you up in those 13 years. What's been going on with Sully, the Sullys, the family, the kids that they've been having, kind of what's been going on around in the planet or the moon of Pandora, and so they do a good job of catching you up, and some good narration and exposition. And I feel like it was fine. It didn't captivate me until something happened at about maybe halfway through the movie, or there's a certain scene that happens in the movie that now that's when you get emotionally hooked, and now you have a feel like, okay, these guys gotta die. And so that's why I feel like the emotional aspect doesn't kick in until about halfway through the film, which that's just my opinion. I think other people will, from the beginning, feel hooked and feel connected to these characters. It's just been so long. I guess it's a good thing you did get this exposition. It's a good thing you did get that, and so you don't feel emotionally hooked till about halfway through. And to me, that's kind of I don't want to say a detriment, but it's something that I kind of wish it would have hit sooner than that. Apart from that, the performances are good. I thought everybody did a fine job. You're really seeing only blue people, only the Navit and the avatars. You don't really get any time with the humans, which is something that I kind of found the first one, if I remember correctly, the human aspect of it. There was times where you felt like it was just dragging when you were following Jake Sully as a human. And that's why I feel like this movie just did better as far as the pacing and keeping you glued onto the screen the whole time. And there's also a character here that I didn't necessarily love. His name is Spider. I don't know if it's him as an actor or if it's the character that he has to be this way, kind of an annoying little character. And I also I never really understood his a lot of his motivations on why he was there. I was kind of up and down with him. Other than that, though, I thought everybody else was great. I thought the story was good. It was a really unbelievable movie. It was an unbelievable movie experience. I enjoyed the heck out of this. Yeah, props to James Cameron, props to everybody. So yeah, in the end, Avatar: The Way of Water is an emotional great ride about halfway through, but the whole movie itself is a visual experience. It is a movie experience that's worth seeing in theaters, and it's a bit of I do believe it's a step above the first one. I like the first one, and I think I really love this one. So yeah, Avatar: The Way of Water, to me, I give it a 4.5 out of 5. Very close to being a flawless movie for me. I enjoyed this movie. I'm happy I saw it. 3 hours and 15 minutes. You don't feel it. So yeah, that's my opinion. If you guys think it sucks, let me know. Follow, subscribe, do all what you got to do to support, man. Go check this movie out. It's a really good movie. Yeah, that's all I got. So peace.